Good morning and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I wish you a joyful new year. And welcome to 21st pre-charter meeting of Chalk and Duster Toastmasters Club. Being the Sergeant at Arms today, it is my honor to be the first speaker. Let me reiterate that the mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive, conducive, and positive learning experience in which every member is empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, personal growth. Before we begin, I would request all of you to put your noise-making devices to silent mode, put on your seat belts, and align your seats straight. Please avoid any kind of cross-talking during the meeting. If you wish to speak up, you can press the button to raise your virtual hand, and you can unmute yourself upon calling. Today, we have the presiding officer, Toastmaster Raj Bharat, with us today. And Toastmaster Raj, I welcome you. We are ready to take off. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Saugat. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to meeting number 21st. Pre-charter meeting number 21st, or we can say first meeting of Chalk and Duster Toastmasters Club in 2022. Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization which helps every individual to become a better leader and better communicator. As we are progressing into new year, today is very first day of new year, year 2022. I took a resolution that 6 months back, which we made a promise that we are going to form a Toastmasters club together for a people who are in profession of coaching, who are in profession of teaching, who are in profession of speaking, professional speaking, mentoring. We will have togetherness for all of them on the platform of Chalk and Duster Toastmasters Club, which is going to be global online Toastmasters Club. We take resolution that we are in this year, probably in this month, probably max to max. Like this, most of you must have taken some resolution for you. Would you like to share with us? Let's take a trick. Let's play a small game. How you can share your resolution of the new year with us on the platform of Chalk and Duster Toastmasters Club. I'm sharing my screen. Give me a moment. Is my screen visible? Awesome. Just do a very small task. Go to menti.com and enter this code 24566841. And there, write your resolution. You can maximum write 3 resolutions for you. We would love to.
Can you go back to the code, please?
Yes, 24566841. And you can answer, you can write your resolution there. It will reflect on this screen. Are you able to find, or do you need any help? Great.
You took us off guard, so we are thinking, okay.
Yes. Great. A better good communicator, a better me, a better citizen. Nice. A better parent. Great. All those resolutions which you are going to share with us, going to be with you for your lifetime. And you will remember this, that you had made a resolution in the new year, and you are going to fulfill that in this year for your family, for your loved ones, for you. Launch my first book. Awesome. Physically, mental fitness. Become a lawyer in my life. Great. A better citizen. Great. Financial stability. Awesome. We will keep this open for 1 more minute. Be and remain happy. Great. Get 10,000 or 1 lakh subscribers. Great. Fast reader, family, giving. Second book. Wow, nice to see. Great. We are going to close this within next 30 seconds. Fast reader. Great. A more learned person. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for participating. We will share this feedback, this resolution with you after the meeting. Thank you so much for participating and sharing your resolution for this new year. Thank you. Let me stop now this one. Did you like this?
Yes, we enjoyed it. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's begin today's meeting. Today's meeting, we are going to have 4 segments: prepared speech, master class, table topics, and evaluation. And for helping us, we have 2 role players. We have grammarian and we have timer also. So grammarian is Toastmaster Gayatri. She works in NABL and she believes that to do everything, when you follow your heart and passion, you achieve your results. I would request Toastmaster Gayatri to share word of the day as grammarian with us. Gayatri.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. Thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone. So a warm welcome to all my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. So as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuse of the English language as well as any outstanding uses. With these words, I would like to share the word of the day and the phrase of the day. Please give me a minute, I'll share my screen.
We can see the screen. Gayatri, you can come to next page. Using keyboard.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, Gayatri.
Yeah. So the first word is ameliorate. Meaning of this word, making better or improvement. Example, he wanted to ameliorate the present suffering, means improve the present suffering. Or the second example, she wanted to ameliorate the situation. Then the phrase of the day is giving someone the cold shoulder, that is ignoring someone. Example, I thought we were friends, but the last time I saw him, he gave me the cold shoulder, that is, he ignored me. So these are all the 2 things I wanted to share. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you,
Toastmaster Raj.
Thank you so much. I will encourage everyone that kindly use the word of the day and the phrase of the day, which grammarian Gayatri has presented with us. Thank you, Gayatri. Also, we have Pradanya. We have future Toastmaster Pradanya with us. She is going to be timer and she will present her screen as green, yellow, and red at time of minimum specified time, target time, and maximum specified time. Thank you so much, Pradanya, for being timer for today. Now let's begin prepare a speech. But before inviting the speaker, let me invite evaluator to share on what parameters you are going to evaluate the prepared speech. Over to you, Saugata.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Raj. Today is a special day, not only because it's the first day of the year, but also because it is the day of the icebreaker speech from our club's future Madam President. Count your pearls. That's her speech title. Toastmaster Lucky. Toastmaster Lucky, I'll be evaluating your speech in terms of 3 C's. 3 C's, I say. That means the first C is for the confidence you carry with yourself. The second would be the content you'll be delivering. And the third is the composition of both of them. Your allotted time will be 5 to 7 minutes, and I wish you all the very best. Over to you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you so much, Saugata. Thank you. So let me welcome the speaker, the prepared speaker, Toastmaster Lucky. She is CEO of playmytrainings.com. Please help me welcome with huge round of virtual applause, Toastmaster Lucky. Hello, Lucky. You're on mute, Lucky.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes. Lucky.
Okay.
Count your pulse.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, sorry, Lucky.
What? I have only the black pearls? Only the black stones? Where are my white stones? Where are my pearls? Oh, I didn't take care of my white stones. Well, friends, this is the story of Ron. Ron is a young, energetic, intelligent, and smart, quite successful professional. But Ron is not very happy. As a kid, Ron was again energetic, active, and a chirpy child. He had a habit of collecting stones. He used to collect white and black stones. These white and black stones he used to collect based on his experiences of the day. During the day, if his day went well, if he would get compliments, if there were people giving compliments to him, talking good about him, in all those situations, and when he won something, he won in some game, or he got good marks, the day when he was very happy, on those days, he would collect white stone. And on all of those days when he was not happy, when he would get criticized, or someone would judge him, or he would fail in something, he was not able to do something, on all of those days, he would collect black stones. As days passed, he collected these stones. And based on most of the experiences, most of the days are not that great. So he would collect lot of black stones. Most of the days he would have fight with someone, or someone would criticize him, or something of that sort would happen. Not every day he gets compliments and all. So most of the days, even on the days which were average, he would collect black stones. And this way days went by. As he grew, he collected lots of stones. He used to keep all these stones in a bag. And these stones, he used to look at them very often. But when he used to look at those stones, he would focus on the black stones because there were many black stones. And he would get sad that he has so many black stones. He would ignore the white stones. He would take them for granted. Okay, they are there, fine. But why so many black stones? Days passed. He became young professional. Whenever he would look at that bag, he would get sad. One day, the day was not great. He had got scolding from his superiors. He was very sad. He looked at the bag and he thought, let me look at it, how many black stones I have. Again, another black stone of today. He went on to put that black stone in the bag. When he opened the bag, he was not happy. He inserted his hand in the bag and suddenly a paper touched his hand. He pulled that paper out. He read that paper. It was a letter. And the letter read like this. Hi, Ron. I am Wisdom. My name is Wisdom. I am from your future. I have been with you since your childhood. I have seen you collecting these stones from your childhood. And I am from your old age. And you know what? I observed one thing. You paid a lot of attention to those black stones. Why, Ron? You collected so many white stones also. Do you know how many white stones you have? Ron said, well, I didn't take care of them. I didn't notice them. Probably I just ignored them because I was so much, I didn't feel happy about these black stones. I used to look at those black stones a lot and I used to really feel bad. The person in the letter, Wisdom, said in the letter that, Ron, you know what? You even lost some of your white stones. You didn't care about them. You just ignored them. You took them for granted that, okay, they are there, fine. But what about these black stones? You were doing like this. And you know what? I collected some of your white stones. You had lost some of them. Some of them were lying in your room, corners of your room. I collected them and I have several white stones with me and I exchanged those white stones with pearls. Do you know? These were precious stones. You didn't realize. What? Those were pearls? No, how can you collect pearls against those white stones? And where are my white stones? Why do I have so many black stones? Why have you taken away my white stones? Ron, you didn't pay attention to them. You ignored them. You just took them for granted. I have your white stones and I got pearls in exchange of them. You know what those pearls are? Those pearls are happiness. Those pearls are good relationships. Those pearls are trust. Ron, if you want these pearls, start collecting white stones and start paying attention to your white stones. So friends, today is the New Year day starting. Let's start focusing on our white stones. Let's stop focusing on the black stones, on the sadness, on the bad things that happen in our life, on the criticisms, on the failures. Let's start focusing on the positive things that's happening in our life. Let's start focusing on the wins that we have in our life. And those white stones, when we focus on them, we will get pearls of our life. And those pearls would be health, wealth, happiness, good relationships, self-satisfaction. So let's start counting our pearls from today. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Great. So how many of you are going to collect white pearls? Awesome. Thank you so much, Lucky, for this beautiful message, beautiful speech that creates happiness for me, for every one of us who are present here and who listened to your beautiful speech today. Thank you so much, Lucky.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Now, moving forward, it's time for master class. We have with us one of the great Toastmasters, one of the very special person, Von Eric, distinguished Toastmaster he is. Also, he has served as division director in his district. He is in Toastmasters since 6 years. He is professional speaker. He is professional speaker. He is professional mentor, and he has changed people's life with his experience, with his wisdom, with his pulse of learnings, which he shared with everyone. So kindly help me welcome with huge round of virtual applause, distinguished Toastmaster, Von Eric. Hello, Von.
Hello, Raj.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Raj, let's start the slide, please.
Yes.
Okay, what a good way to start the new year, actually. So happy new year to everyone. We are tackling a very simple, but for many, it's a difficult task, and that is giving and receiving feedback. Helping me, going to assess me, patient. That's it, please. But before that, while waiting for Raj, I would like to ask everyone to have this simple exercise. Okay, everyone, I need your participation. Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand, please. Raj, raise your right hand. Okay, make a pointing finger. Everyone, make it a pointing finger. And then slowly put it into your chin. Put it into your chin. Everyone, where is your chin? Okay, so I saw some of you, you're listening to me, but you don't know if you're going to put it in your forehead or in your chin. Okay. The trick here is, I like everyone to have this art of attention. Thank you very much for your participation. The number one rule in giving a feedback is the art of attention. Art of attention is very important in everything. Singing, dancing, speaking, listening, particularly in listening. So you should know, as what the international champion said, Lance Miller, 2005, he mentioned to have an effective evaluation tips, clear your mind, be attentive. So that is the art of attention. Moving on to our next slide. If I ask everyone, what is feedback? I might get different opinion, ideas, or probably different definition of feedback. But first, I would like to share with you this definition of feedback. Feedback is about information, about reactions to a product, a person's performance of a task, which is used as a basis for improvement. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, remember the keywords: basis for improvement. So that is all about feedback. Moving on. There you go, evaluations. Okay. We will call it feedback, evaluations. Probably you will call it view, a critics, a judgment, satisfaction, opinion. According to Henry Cloud, American Christian author, he once said, the natural response to evaluation is to feel judged. We have to mature to a place where we respond to it with gratitude, and we should love feedback. That's according to Henry Cloud. And I agree with that, right? One of our natural response when we feel judged, when we do something, is we feel judged. That's the reason probably maybe many are afraid of public speaking. It's because you don't want to feel judged. Feeling judged. Who doesn't want? Nobody wants to be criticized. Nobody wants to be judged. People by nature want to be complimented. That is the reason why we have this masterclass, so that we will know the art of giving feedback and receiving feedback. And I would like to emphasize here, let's accept feedback. Now, in our masterclass today, we are using the feedback and evaluations in a speaking area. And a speaker, you are being judged or evaluated in three things: how you look as a speaker, how you sound, and how you organize your material. It says, sir, spend more time congratulating yourself for the improvement you're making instead of overthinking how far you have to go. So moving on, please. As a speaker, you will be judged, or you will be observed how you dress. That's very important. Dressing well will add confidence, because our appearance is the first basis for evaluation other people have. And of course, first impression lasts. A good appearance makes you feel important. But for me, whatever you wear, as long as it's neat, tidy, and you're comfortable, and then that makes you confident. Right? If you love color red, wear it. If you like black suit, wear it. And your appearance talks to you, to the other, make certain it says, here's a person who has self-respect. He's important. Treat him that way. And lastly, why you should dress well. You never know whom you might run to when you go out. Let's say you'll be in conference or in a Toastmasters training TLI. So dress well. Okay. Moving on. You will be judged as a speaker how you sound. Are you nervous? Are you confident? How's your voice? Do you have a low voice? Fellow Toastmasters, when you have a low voice, that means you're lacking confidence and you're shy. So take note, when you present, make sure your voice is confident, but natural. Be natural, okay? And don't be nervous. Moving on, this is the most important part when you have a presentation. Whether you have your prepared speech in your club, or you are conducting a training in TLI, or conducting training in conference, district conference, or you are into international speech contests, it's very important to organize your material. You should put your ideas into a writing speech. And everybody knows here what are the basic components of speech. You have the opening, you have your body, and of course you have your closing. Okay. Same is true. You can use that one when you do a table topics or impromptu speaking. You should know and master the art of organizing your materials. Moving on. There you go. We're now into our main topic of giving a feedback. Later on, we will also tackle how to receive feedback. So this masterclass is actually two. You will learn the basic in giving feedback and the basic on how to receive feedback. It says here, constructive feedback and negative feedback. In this session, we would like to use more of the constructive, and we should avoid the word negative. But what is important here is not what you say, it's how you say it. So fellow Toastmasters, the seasoned Toastmasters here, remember this one. It's how you say it, particularly if you are evaluating new members of Toastmaster. Moving on. There you go. How to give feedback. We have 3 here. Number 1 is attention. You should have a clear mind, open your mind, and listen attentively. And if you remember, we have this simple exercise a while ago, teaching you the basic sample of the art of attention. That's very important if you want to give feedback and if you want someone to improve their presentation. Next one, use the sandwich method. And the last one is show you care. Let's tackle first the sandwich method. Moving on to our next one. I'll show you sample of Big Mac buns here from McDonald's. Okay. So we'll be using the sandwich method. And I'm sure many Toastmasters here hear or know about what is feedback sandwich. But first, feedback sandwich, I would like you to see this one. This is what we call the crown. This is what we call the middle part of the bun. And this is the heel. Okay. The feedback sandwich is about giving a positive feedback. Then in the middle, use constructive feedback. And then the last one is another positive feedback. So in short, feedback sandwich means positive, negative, positive. Now, my question here, ladies and gentlemen, is feedback sandwich effective? Do you think feedback sandwich is effective in workplace, any school, to new trainers, in Toastmasters Club? Some critics said feedback sandwich is not effective. Others said it's very effective. But in Toastmasters, actually, most of our evaluators are using feedback sandwich. It's because they open their evaluation by saying what's the best the speaker did in his presentation. And then they will give some tips for improvement. And then later on, they will end their evaluation in giving more positive feedback. So we are actually using the positive feedback or using the feedback sandwich. Whether you know that term or not, we are actually using feedback sandwich. But in a workplace, in managers, they said it's not effective because they said that you are just confusing the one you're giving feedback. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the purpose of masterclass and presentation, we will not argue here if feedback sandwich is effective or not. If you think it's effective, you can use it. If you think it's not, it's up to you. But the point here, when you give feedback, whatever format you're using, whatever system you want to use in giving feedback, your main concern, your end goal to give feedback is to give improvement to everyone. So it doesn't matter if feedback sandwich is effective or not, because your end goal is you want everyone to improve. You are genuine, you are authentic, and you show care. And that's the most important. And for those who are saying that feedback sandwich is not effective, maybe they're not sincere. As I mentioned earlier, whatever method you're going to use in your evaluation, showing care is the most important. And by the way, when you give feedback, you're not making a speech. Remember that. Giving evaluations is not making a speech. I have this experience in visiting Toastmasters around the world, and their meeting goes overtime because the general evaluator keeps on giving feedback to everyone, and that makes his evaluation very long, and they go overtime. To be honest, if you have a good feedback, say it. If you can't tell any feedback, be honest. Don't just give feedback and feedback and feedback after another feedback just to say that you are a good evaluator. Giving feedback should be brief, concise, clear. Because the main concern of giving feedback is to make someone improve. Now, let's go to our next slide. So that is our feedback sandwich. What is actually feedback sandwich? I mentioned earlier, you have the positive, and then let's use probably constructive feedback instead of the negative, and then another positive. That is the concept of feedback sandwich. Moving on to next one. There you go. To emphasize more what is feedback sandwich is on top, something positive to warm up the discussion. Okay, so let's say you open your evaluation. Raj, thank you very much for your presentation today. I think you have a really good topic. I can relate to it. So maybe that will be your start of your feedback or giving evaluation to a certain person. And then later on, you transition to the feedback that you really wanted to give. Example is, you're very clear. You emphasize the points. And I think the audience listening to you because you captured their attention. But I think your presentation will be more accurate if you will show us a slide. There you go. That's the feedback that you wanted to give. Or probably you give us more example to elaborate your point. So that's the feedback that you really want to give. And then later on, transition to another praise. Something else positive to soften the real feedback. So you see, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we are using feedback. It's because many Toastmasters, even the season 1, are still having difficulty in giving feedback. That's the reason why the psychology behind this feedback sandwich, positive, negative, or constructive, and then another positive just to soften the real feedback. It's not easy to give feedback. I remember when I have this presentation in Singapore and I asked a fellow DTM and Messenger. So by the way, this is a non-Toastmaster club. I was invited to speak there in Singapore. And I asked a fellow DTM who is also there, and I asked, can you give me a feedback in my presentation? He only said, you're clear, very clear, and no other points or tip for evaluation. Why? Because it's very difficult for us to give feedback. Of course, in Toastmasters around the world, we are used to giving feedback, but in reality, when you are outside of Toastmasters, it's very difficult to feedback. It's because we don't want somebody get hurt, right? That's why we have this feedback sandwich of something positive to warm up the discussion, the feedback that you actually wanted to give, and then the last one is something else positive to soften the real feedback. So it's not a question here if feedback sandwich is effective or not. The real issue here is how you give feedback and how you say it. Moving on, please. Now, if you don't want to use the feedback sandwich, I would like to suggest this CARE. And what does CARE stands for? Compliment, you address, you resolve, you encourage. As a evaluator, or in your workplace as a manager, you should be more of a coach than a critic. There's a lot of critic in the world. And we should start the new year by being a coach, by being a good mentor, because our main agenda when we give feedback is to help someone to improve. So that is care. Compliment, you address, you resolve, you encourage. Be a coach. Don't be a critic. Moving on, please. Before I tackle how to receive feedback, I would like to summarize how to give feedback. Number one, the art of attention. Number two, using the feedback sandwich. Or number three, care. Be a coach, don't be a critic. So I hope you know now how to give feedback. But again, when you give feedback, make sure that your goal is to help someone and be genuine. Now, how to receive feedback? Different people will give different feedback. That's why the importance of rehearsal. In your prepared speech, you should write your speech, you organize your speech, and then rehearse it, and then present it to your club. That's the importance of rehearsal. Okay. Moving on, please. Always remember, in evaluation, I mentioned it earlier, they will evaluate you how you look, how you sound, and how you organize your material. But to have an effective presentation, get an evaluation from your audience after you present. That's what I meant. I mentioned my story a little earlier. I approached one of the audience, I messaged him, how can I make my presentation better? Or maybe find a mentor, engage a coach. Okay, when you present your presentation. We have a district champion here, Colin, my friend. Thank you for coming, Colin, again. And he knows it. He's been giving feedback, he's rehearsing his speech, he's competing, and he knows what is presentation and evaluation about. So find a mentor, engage a coach. You should have a team of people helping you to have a better presentation. Later on, I have an evaluator and I will learn something from him so that when I present this masterclass to another club, I can make use of that evaluation. Moving on. Okay, setting up yourself to success. That is very important. If you plan to be successful, then you set up yourself to success. Prepare yourself for practice. That's why we call it prepared speeches, because you have to prepare it prior to your presentation, right? Practicing your speech for an effective presentation is really, really important too. And then later on, presenting your talk to your audience. Now, if you don't practice, if you don't rehearse, and then you keep on doing presentation in your club, I'll bet you're getting the same evaluation even if you have different speech. Okay. Moving on. There you go. This is the most important in receiving feedback. Learn from the feedback. Be open-minded. Be coachable. Be teachable. Apply what you learn. They always said that feedback is the breakfast of champions. Do you agree? Yes, for me. I agree with that. Because if you want to win, not only in Toastmaster and everything you want to do in your goals in life, if you really want to win, you are willing to accept feedback. Don't feel judged. If you are a coachable person, you are a teachable person, then you are open-minded and you can receive feedback with an open heart. Yeah, remember that. If you want to win, you have to be willing to be judged by others. Moving on, please. Q-tip. Okay. This Q-tip stands for quit taking it personally. Okay. The effective way to receive a feedback is remembering this acronym Q-tip. Don't take it personally. Okay. I've seen a lot of new Toastmasters. They quit because they take the feedback personally. And by the way, for those who love to give evaluations in their respective club, again, make your evaluation not too harsh. That's important. It's a win-win situation here. The evaluator giving good comments, improvement, and the new Toastmaster or probably a new member of a workplace not taking it personally. Okay, so that's the most important. Few tip, don't take it personally. Okay, moving on. By the way, this part of my presentation is from the book Say It Loud, Say It Proud, and I would like to share something here. And it says here, be open to suggestions and feedback and follow the rule of taking nothing personally. So this is in the chapter 7 of this book. And it says here, should be feedback be negative? And it is a good idea not to take things personally, particularly if it's a positive one. So you can feel good and you should, but don't let it go to your head or you might not be successful on the next stop. So again, when you take feedback, don't take it personally. Moving on, please. Regarding this presentation of mine, if you have a suggestion, I'm open-minded because I'm a champion. I'm willing to receive feedback. You can find me in Facebook, LinkedIn, message me or email me and mention to me, I did not understand I don't like your presentation, Bon, because I don't believe on feedback sandwich. You can tell me every time, message me, because I'm a champion and a champion are willing to accept feedback. Fellow Toastmaster, that is our masterclass for today, how to give feedback and how to receive feedback. Thank you very much, Raj, for assisting me. And thank you very much, everyone. I'm now transferring the virtual stage to our Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vaughn, for sharing such important learning with your experience about evaluation, how to give feedback and how to receive feedback. And definitely, I promise that I will use sandwich method. I will so clear, we will not take it personally. Thank you so much, Vaughn, for all experience sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have time for taking one or two max to max question. So I'm opening the floor for a question to Vaughn. Anyone who have any questions, kindly ask.
Yeah, I have one more. Can I ask?
Sure, Saugat, kindly go ahead.
So you said about giving the feedback in the sandwich method. So there could be any other n number of methods. So this is what we can apply in Toastmasters. But in real life, things become a little difficult because, you know, people, our friends, our family members may not like it, or they can become a little bit hostile towards us. So how to handle that? Is there any solution for that?
Good question. And I agree with you. When we go out of Toastmasters, it's very, very difficult to give feedback, particularly personal one. Okay. This is how I handle feedback. As a coach, I'm mentoring now many people. Even here in my town, I'm mentoring and doing some live coaching. My approach here is this. It's very difficult to give feedback, yes, but this is the most important. If they're asking for feedback, that means they respect you as a person of authority. Remember that. And that is where you're going to give feedback. To everyone listening here, don't just give feedback, particularly if they're not asking your opinion. It's difficult. That's how I handle it. Even in a comment in Facebook. Right now, we are into the world of Facebook, social media, internet. And if someone, let's say someone put a picture, a post of something, don't just give a comment and, oh, I think the picture you should put is like this, it's better. No, if they're not asking for your feedback, then don't give one. That's the first step. Now, the moment that they ask your feedback, that means to say they trust you. Because you are a person of authority. Right? That's how I handle the situation. And of course, when you give a feedback, always start with positive. Always point out what they did best. Psychology said people will learn more if you give compliments, praise. That's normal. Even a child, right? When a child show his drawing to you, Mommy, look at this. You know the drawing is not really good. But what are you going to tell? Wow, you're so great. Because we want that person to feel that they are important too. So gain their trust. That is how I handle. I hope I answered your very good question. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Yes, you answered. Thank you.
I've seen many hands raising here, so.
I think we can take one maximum question as we have limited time. So we can take maximum one question from Alan. Hello, Alan, kindly go ahead.
Okay, one last question.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raj. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, DTM Von, I have one question for you. You mentioned you have students and mentee. So my question is, how often do you give feedback to them? Once a week, once a month, or once a year?
Thank you for that question. Thank you very much. And also thank you for coming to this Toastmaster meeting. By the way, Toastmaster Alan is a Toastmaster from the Philippines, from Davao. And okay, how often I give feedback? Well, it depends on the session, right? If your session is monthly, then you give feedback monthly. But again, the most important here, and I would like to repeat myself here, even if you're not the mentor, even if you're not the coach, you're not the teacher, don't just give feedback. I've seen a lot of people that they are very willing to give feedback, even though they're not asked for. Okay? Reserve your feedback. Now, in your question, if your session is weekly, then give feedback weekly. It's monthly. It depends on the session. Now, going back to Toastmasters, let's relate our situation here in Toastmaster Club. Of course, giving feedback, when you're the evaluator, then that's where you give feedback. So again, it varies. It depends on the person, and it depends also on the mentee or students, how often they want to receive feedback. Again, the keyword here is wait for them to ask feedback. Even my son right now is a 19-year-old, and I don't usually give feedback to him because he has his own mind, he has his own life. I only give feedback. I only give evaluations when he needed it. Otherwise, don't give too many feedback because people don't want chit chat, okay? Even in the workplace, don't like that. Chat. You're like a nagging wife. You're like a whining husband. Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Alan.
Thank you so much, Vaughn.
Thank you.
We had questions from Anand, but we will take it offline. Anand, I'm sorry, because of time limit, we have to move ahead now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vaughn. Great, great. So I really again apologize. We had evaluator for Vaughn. We will listen the evaluation for this master class from Pithambaram, his evaluator, in later segment of this meeting. Thank you. Moving ahead, it's time for third segment of today's meeting, impromptu speaking skills. We say table topics. And for conducting this table topics, we have mindset coach, Pradeep Sethi. Over to you, Pradeep.
Thank you. Thank you, Raj. It was really a great and amazing session from Vaughn, and I was just taking notes and notes and notes. And I did make a note of that book too. Say it loud and say it proud. Thank you so much. And let's going further. I'll be going ahead and conducting this table topic. I'll be the master. And I have a couple of questions for you. So everybody need to be on the hot seat right now. Because when it comes to impromptu, people think, oh, what's going to happen next? Or what would be the question, right? So this is one of the, I would say, a very positive point of Toastmasters, which I just learned. I'm learning since last 1 month, becoming a Toastmaster and joining this great club. So let's go ahead. Let me share my screen. Give me a moment. Okay, I hope you're able to see my screen. Thank you. So this session is particularly for the main reason for this is it helps members and develop their ability to organize their thoughts in a particular place quickly and respond to the impromptu question or the topics. This total session will be for 13 to 15 minutes. Since we are running short of time, we will try to finish it to the earliest. So each speaker would be having 1 to 2 minutes. So that at the first minute, we have a timer, Pradnya, who will help us with the 1 minute. She will help us with the green card or the green background. With 1.5 minutes, yellow card or a yellow background, and 2 minutes, red card would be displayed or a red background. So within next 30 seconds, that is 2.5 minutes, you need to complete this your speech. Okay. So all the best. Let's go ahead. So are you ready? Are you ready? Great. Thank you. Who would like to come first? Can anybody raise your hand, please?
Yes, this is Anand.
Oh, Anand. Hi, Anand.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes.
So this is a question for you. So do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength?
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for giving a wonderful and emotional topic. Right. Crying, as per my point of view, when you cry, that means you are venting your emotion. Right. See, if you are not crying, suppose something has happened, something which is not to our expectation, something bad thing has happened to us. If you are not vent our emotion by crying, means it will stay in our subconscious mind. It will go and it will stay as a residue. It will stay as a decayed matter that will stop operating us. Right, which will lead to a lot of psychosomatic complications like depression, then hypertension and diabetes. So the only way is that we have to vent away by means of our crying. Crying is not a negativity. See, if you laugh is a sign of prosperity, happiness. As the same, the crying also, it plays a crucial role in elevating all your expressed emotion from our mind. Right? That is very, you can cry in front of the God. You can cry in front of our parents. We can cry in front of our philosophers, our caregivers. So the crying is one of the best remedy. Right? See, giving pill, the doctor, when you go to the doctor, they give only the pill, medicine. The medicines are the chemicals. It has got lot of side effect. As a nature, it has given some of the innate things like smiling, crying, and laughing. Let us utilize that and have a disease-free life. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. It was really excellent. You know, what you mean to say, what I understand is that just like we breathe and do all the activities, we sweat. So all that thing has to happen in a natural way. We should not suppress anything and go to psychiatrists or others, ask for medicines to sleep or, do suppress something. So one day or the other, it will come out. Thank you very much. It was really excellent. Nice hearing you. Thank you, sir. Let's go on with the next one.
Just a suggestion, Table Topic Master. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Whenever the speakers start speaking, can you just stop sharing the screen so that we can view a bigger picture of them? Can you do that?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, who would like to go next?
I can try. Geeta Kashyap.
Anybody?
Yeah, I would like to go.
Okay. So the question for you is, what makes you smile?
Thank you so much for that amazing topic. There are a number of things which make us smile in our lives. Go out, see the mountains, see the beauty of the nature, see the wave, hear the waves. All these things do make me smile. Recently, I went to Kenya and seeing all those wonderful, amazing animals really helped me smile. I really loved. The best thing which makes me smile these days is my little granddaughter. When I hold her in my arms, when I see her chuckling, when I talk to her, and when I see her chuckling, I cannot tell you, I smile from within my heart. It's really amazing. I really love to talk to her. When I want to vent out my feelings, I talk to her, and she laughs and gives out the sound that makes me smile. That takes another thing. Just try to help the poor and the needy. When you go and help somebody who is in need, I think that can give you the maximum joy that a person requires. When you should know the art of giving. On this earth, we always want and want and want more throughout our lives. But when you do a selfless deed, when you do something for others, that can make you happy and smile to the core of your heart. And that is that is what is really required, especially during the COVID time. People really need our help, and we should try to help them whenever possible. So these little things, whether it is the beauty of nature, the little children, and help to others selflessly, these things make me smile. And I wish the happy I wish you all a very, very happy new year. Keep smiling, all of you, and let us be happy. Thank you. Back to you, table topic.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent speech, Toastmaster Geeta. As it's been said, face is the index of mind. Okay. And if you want to look into the soul, it's through the eyes. So we can see just with your face, you are radiating energy, radiating power. And I could see that the smile, every person has an aura which he or she carries. And the moment you connect with those people, even that person is vibes, that positive vibes. So we can see that from you. So thank you very much. And especially you see more power in you. As it's being said, the law of karma, that is Newton's, law of motion, which says, as you sow, so shall you reap. So the more you start giving, more you start attracting good things into your life. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead with the next one. Let me share my screen. Yes, who'll be next? Can anybody volunteer?
I volunteer.
Okay, thank you. So your question is here. Are you able to see? Let me get into the presentation mode. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question. So my answer to the question is never trying is the worst. Why? Because in failing, we could learn. We could fail forward. We could be successful. On the other hand, if we are not trying, we are like people who are in their comfort zone. They just relax. They wait for opportunity. I remember a book, a quotation from the book from our good friend here, DTM Von Eric Tandok. I bought his book, Say It Loud, Say It Proud. And I love the quotation, start small, achieve more. So when you start something, when you start small, the result is success. That's what I learned from the book of DTM Von Eric Tandok. So I suggest, fellow Toastmasters, please buy the book from our good friend Von Eric Tandok from Canada, Say It Loud, Say It Proud. Because if you buy, it is tantamount to trying and achieve success and greatness in what we do. Back to you, table topics master.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Alan. It was really great. Thank you. And the one which you said about the book, that you took a slogan or part of it saying, start small and achieve more. Yes, we all need to start somewhere, because if we don't try something, you won't come to know what you are really good at. Only when you start trying, failing, it's then you come to know that what you can really do in your life. So that's really amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much for your speech, sir. Mhm. Let's go ahead with the next one. Let me share my screen. Can somebody volunteer? Maybe this might be the last one, or we'll have two more. So when you are 80 years old, what will matter to you the most?
Pradeep, I can take it.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Fellow Toastmasters, I'm in my 50s. I add 30 years to my age. And I told myself, life began when I was 50. And I re-looked at my life and started doing those things that I wanted to do at my younger age. At the age of 52, I graduated. At the age of 53, I got my third DTM. At the age of 55, I decided to go on a journey around the world virtually and covered 35 different countries. And at the age of 56, I completed a 30-day video challenge where I got a certificate from Professor Allen, who just spoke earlier. When I look back at my life when I'm 80, I will write all the wonderful things that I've done in my life and tell my son, my grandson, and tell them, if I could do it in my life, why can't you do it? Nothing stops you from achieving your goals except yourself. Don't give excuses about being young or old or ugly or beauty. Just leave everything aside. Just go and do it. Your dream will become a reality because believers are achievers. If you believe, you will achieve. I believed in myself so much that I made it a reality in achieving my degree, doing the 30-day video challenge, and I forgot. I even did a 12-hour non-stop table topic marathon in 2021. Everything is in the mind. You set your mind to it, you will achieve it. In fact, I'm going on a 90-day video challenge now. If you can, join me in this journey and produce at least a 30-day video. Back to you, table topic master.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Brahma Kumar from Singapore. Really, you just took us through a phase as to all the different steps, what all you achieved at this age too. And you are, as you said, everything is in the mind. Yes, I totally agree with you 100%. Whatever you focus on, energy starts flowing towards that directions, and that's how you start growing. You talked about the 30-day challenge, which you're doing, video challenge. Yes, I too did with one of the Indian mentors. So it's really great. It's really nice. And Mr. Allen is driving that. So maybe in the future, some trainings, he can give us some training more how to be good in front of camera and do all those things. Thank you so much. And one more thing which I really liked is about your writing. You'll be telling all these things. I think you'll be putting it all in your journal, Brahma Kumar, and you will be passing that asset, like Jim Rohn says. It will be an asset to my grandkids and all, to son. So it's really nice. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead, maybe one more. Can we take one more? Toastmaster Raj?
Yes, Pradeep, we can take one.
Thank you very much. And who will take this one?
Colin is raising his hand.
Okay. Yeah. If we learn from mistakes, why are we afraid to make mistakes? If we learn from mistakes, why are we always afraid to make mistakes? who would take that?
Is that for me?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and I guess I'm one of the most welcome guests. Well, I didn't want to give anybody here the cold shoulder, even though it's minus 33 degrees. I don't know why Eric moved to this country, but it is cold here, but it is better than it was yesterday. So I guess it's not much of an amelioration. What do we learn from our mistakes? Albert Einstein, like people say you learn from your mistakes. That's why I consider myself an Albert Einstein. I am so learned. I have done so many things so wrong so often. I remember very distinctly my icebreaker speech. I had this attitude that I was supposed to speak for 4 to 6 minutes. That is 1 minute per decade. I can handle it. And I even used the word of the day and they knocked to acknowledge it. And I had no notes. I lost my train of thought and I stood up there and I looked like an ugly duckling. I had nonverbal gestures. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I died a thousand. I learned that an evaluation can save the day because I had quit Toastmasters and my evaluator focused on the fact that I did recover and I felt like I did do that and I was motivated to carry on. If it wasn't for that good evaluation, because I made a mistake, I would never, ever have started my Toastmaster journey. So do we learn from our mistakes? Absolutely. If you want to take mentorship from a person that's made gazillions of mistakes, I'm your man. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. You need a great round of applause from everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. You did tell about, firstly, you did mention about the country you are in. I think you are in Canada. So how cold it is and even one is there. Yes, that's really nice. Thank you very much for letting us know about the weather. Secondly, you talked about the first speech which you delivered, which made you really, stumble and, so many things coming up, doing mistakes. But the reason is you stood up back again, even though you exited out of Toastmasters, again, you came back because your evaluator, he helped you in giving the right type of feedback, getting you in place and, start doing again. And today is where you are right now. Thank you very much for the, the great speech, Mr. Colin. So I hope even in future, programs, you would be coming. We need leaders like you who would train us, who would, show us a correct path where we would, start moving ahead. Thank you very much. We need your mentorship. And so let's go ahead and let me pass on this dais to Toastmaster Raj. You can take on. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Pradeep, for conducting table topic segment so beautifully with so beautiful topics and with so great participation. Moving forward, it's time for evaluation. So let me invite evaluator for prepared speaker. Saugat, over to you.
Thank you, host. Thank you so much. Apologies for my throat. It is quite bad. I don't know what you're talking about. It is cold out here also. But probably I cannot brag because it is like 10 degrees here. So sorry about that. Coming to Toastmaster Lucky. Toastmaster Lucky, I heard a quote somewhere that ask not what tomorrow may bring, but count on your blessings in winters and in spring. Or in our case, it is count your pearls in winters and in spring. Toastmaster Lucky, with your extraordinary speech, with such grace you delivered it, came a wonderful lesson to be grateful for what you have. And I don't think there is a better day than today to reflect on that. Toastmaster Lucky, you started your speech with a story of Ron. And you intensified the problem he had with the stones. That story, the pathway it took, it was really wonderful. And then at the end, you finished your story with a conclusion that we should be grateful. So I think on the story part, on your content part, you were absolutely on point. You were exuberating great levels of confidence as well. I love the way you were hand gesturing everything. So when you're showing pearls, when you're showing stones, you were doing this. So hand gestures, again, on point. Your expressions were on point. When Ron was happy, you were happy. When Ron was sad, you were sad. But Toastmaster Lucky, your speech is already here at this level. Okay, can we ameliorate it to the next? Can we do that? Yes. Toastmaster Lucky, can we add a little bit of role play? So when Ron was talking with the letter, his consciousness was talking to him from the future in that letter, can we add that role playing thing? Like you can add different voices, one voice for Ron and one voice for wisdom, like this. Yeah, can we do that? And every great public speaker is always an actor first, then they become a great public speaker. So I think if you follow these things, your speech can go at par. Your speech is absolutely fantastic right now, but we have to take it to the next level. And one more suggestion I could give, that when we use a few words, like in your speech, there were black stones, white stones, black stones, white stones. So instead of those, can we add, going forward in the story, can we add black ones or white ones? Like every time when we hear the same word, people may get confused. So can we do that? But at last, overall, I think I loved your speech. You kept your audience totally engaged. We loved the story. And I don't think it was an icebreaker speech. I think it was a stonebreaker speech. Thank you. Thank you, presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Saugat, for beautiful inspiring values.
Thank you very much, Saugat. Wonderful, the stonebreaker part.
Awesome. Now, moving ahead, let me welcome very special person, one of the special person with us, Toastmaster Pithambran, who loves to take every opportunity every time. Toastmaster Pithambran for evaluating master class given by Vaughan DTM. Over to you, Pithambran.
Criticism or feedback is like rain, which should encourage the growth of a man without destroying its roots. And that's what exactly distinguished Toastmaster Von Erich presented us today in his fantabulous presentation on feedback, how we can receive it and how we can give it. Thank you, Toastmaster Raj, my dear friends and fellow Toastmasters. Wish you all a happy and prosperous year 2022. Distinguished Toastmaster Vaughan, if I ask you a quick question, how open you are receiving my feedback, I know that your answer is, I'm a champion, I'm open to that. So I wish to give my feedback based on those lines, which we Toastmasters normally look into how an evaluation session goes on. A master class, yes, the title itself says a master class from a master. I must say, not even just a master, from a maestro, we were getting this class today. Some of the good part which I would like to highlight is that how important is receiving and giving feedback in your life, on not just limited to Toastmasters, be in your profession, be in your family, be in with your friends. You were absolutely spot on with that. Toastmaster Raj, what is the time given for me? Because I could see the green light now itself.
We have
3 to 5 minutes, right? Okay, thank you. Now, what is the feedback? How you can receive it and how you should give a feedback. These were the two categories which we can tell about today's speech. Now, to receive a feedback based on a speech. So what all should be the qualities of a speaker? Distinguished Toastmaster One were very specific on mentioning the qualities of a speaker, be in his appearance, be in his preparation, be in the content. And altogether, he put it in a one way, that acronym of OBC, opening, body, and a conclusion or a closing, which he specifically mentioned. Your entire process or the entire presentation was full of acronyms, which we all were able to recollect even now. And I am sure that everyone will be able to do it even in their later time as well. Let it be care, let it be QT, and let it be CRC. When it comes to CRC, you are praising the sandwich method, which we all are using. A comment, recommendation, and again the comment. Wonderfully exhibited. How can I give a cold shoulder to distinguished Toastmaster Wong when he was expressing, when he was moving from one space to the another one? He was clearly and comprising the first session. These are the things like art of attention, care, and of course, the third one was like not be like a critics, be like a coach. Now, in his speech, as distinguished Toastmaster One was saying, he is open to receive feedback. I wish to give you few tips which I feel would help to improve the presentation. One is that we always feel that feedback, it is suppose my feedback right now, it is on how I feel about your presentation. It's not necessarily what you are expecting. So if you could mention those things, feedback is the individual's opinion on how he or she felt the presentation. That is number one. Number two is the language which you would select while giving a feedback. That is most important, I believe, so that the personal attack can be minimized. If you can give some example at that time, say how you were as a protege receiving feedback from your mentors and how well you implemented it to make yourself in a better person. With at least one example, we were able to connect it well, I believe in that. Then the third is that your presentation, what I believe, you were having a great body language, well deserved and well connected story, means entire presentation. But if you could use it in a presentation way, like making the presentation as your background and you are visible on the screen while giving a presentation would add value to me. I believe in that. And fourth, of course, it is going ahead. What I like to tell you is that, distinguished Toastmaster, your positioning when you are on a corner of your room, I believe so. So when you are saying that you are a champion, you are open to receive feedback, your gestures were like something like this. Your positioning of body was something like this. Now for me, this makes I'm not so open. If it is like this, I'm not so open. Whereas if I'm like this, I'm a bit more open. So positioning of yourself while giving certain, especially a high-class presentation of like this would help not only yourself or others as well to read something better than that. Altogether, I must say, a wonderful presentation, which you said it loud and said with pride, totally in terms of Toastmasters spirit and journey. Back to you, Toastmaster Raj.
Thank you so much, Pithambaran, for this beautiful evaluation for distinguished Toastmaster Bond. Now let me invite Pradanya, the timer, the critical person for today, to share timing report for everyone. Over to you, Pradanya.
Yeah, thank you, Raj, and happy New Year to everyone. Wish you all have a happy and prosperous New Year. Okay, I'll start with this thing. I'll give you the timings for prepared speech. Toastmaster Lucky, she used 7 minutes appropriately. It was aptly used. And the evaluation done by Saugat, he took 3.22 minutes. Then we move to second slot, the training part of it. Toastmaster Von Eric Tendo. He took total 27 minutes. And the evaluation done by Toastmaster PB, sorry, I couldn't get the name right. He took 6.32 minutes for the evaluation. Now we go to table topic done by Anand. He's used 2 minutes. Appropriately, he is used 2 minutes. Time used by Geeta is 2 minutes. Time used by Toastmaster Alan, 1.30. Toastmaster Brahmakumar used 1.56 minutes. Toastmaster Colin used 1.48 minutes. 1.48 minutes. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Pradanya. Kindly give a huge round of applause for her for this critical work as timer she has done for every one of us today.
And I'm sorry for when evaluation was going on, my hand, like, these are smart, smart instruments devices. And like by mistake, I pressed that green, which was interruption caused to Toastmaster PB. I'm sorry about it. Thank you.
No worries, Pradanya, no worries. Thank you so much. I'm taking 5 more minutes to complete this today, to wrap up this today's meeting. Let me invite Gayatri for grammarian report. Over to you, Gayatri.
Thank you, Mr. Raj, Toastmaster. So this is with respect to the grammarian law. Today, the word of the day is ameliorate. Starting from Miss Lucky, the storytelling and narration was very excellent. The theme is very, very much glued with the newer topic. The pauses at right places are very good. The usage of filling words at 2 places, it's a very minimal usage, only 2 places, it may be reduced. And coming to Mr. Von Eric Tandau, my feedback is related to the topic feedback is excellent with great gesture. Vocal productivity is very good and the delivery as emphasized more. It's really elocutionary. And it was an enlightening presentation. I know only bread sandwich. Today I learned about feedback sandwich or feedback sandwich also. The only suggestion here is the word feedback may be reduced, which was very often used in the presentation. And the next is Mr. Colin and Mr. Saugar. They used the word ameliorate, the word of the day today. And Mr. Pitambaram, sir has used the phrase, which is very excellent. It's encouraged for the presenters also to use the word of the day. In some of the places, improve. Okay. In those places, ameliorate may be used. This is my just summary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gayatri, for presenting your grammarian report for everyone. Thank you so much, Gayatri. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for voting for best prepared speaker. So we are going to adopt different method today. Let me share my screen to get voting for best prepared speaker. So again, you go to menti.com and put the code which you had given initially. Is my screen visible? Yes, it is. The menti.com code is 24566841 and vote for your best table topic speaker. 24566841.
Toastmaster Raj, could you please repeat one more?
24566841. We have received 3 votes. 4. 5 votes. We will take 30-second more for voting as we have to close also. We are 7. We are closing in another 10 seconds. Thank you so much. So we have closed the voting for being best table topic as speaker, and congratulations distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar for being best table topic as speaker for today's Chalk and Duster Toastmasters Club meeting. With this, let me bind up today's meeting as we have come to the closure of this meeting today. So thank you so much, Vilma, Pradeep, Gayatri, Pradanya, Lucky, Saugat, Colin, Vaughn, Brahmakumar, Alan, Pithambran, Anand, Geeta, Babu, and Kadisa for joining with us today and having a great evening, having a great day ahead for all of you. Thank you so much. We are closing this meeting officially and stopping the recording. We can have casual 5-minute chat, then we will close this meeting. Thank you so much.
Raj, can we take a quick picture?
Yes, yes. Kindly be on your camera with beautiful heart, smile and sign, and we will have a beautiful picture with every one of us.
Are you taking it?
Yes, you can take Saugat if you are ready. Yeah. Yes, Saugat is taking.
It's done.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Saugat. I am stopping the recording.